demigods, and mortal viewers. Welcome back to our breakdown series of Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus. I'm your guide through the labyrinth of details, that fake range. And today, we're diving into the episode 2, I Become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. Episode 2 takes us deeper into Percy's world as he grapples with the quirks of Camp Half Blood. The title alone hints at the humor we can expect, a hallmark of Rick Riordan's storytelling. We start with Percy waking up at Camp Half Blood. Get to hear Annabeth's iconic line from the books.
You drool when you sleep.
We were introduced to Mr. D, or Dionysus, the camp director played by Jason Mantzoukas, donning his iconic tiger printed shirt and Diet Coke. Mr. D tends to call heroes with the wrong names. For example,
Peter Johnson is here.
the incredible sarcasm of Percy is also evident in this scene.
Yeah, Grover. I heard him the first time.
But did you?
We meet Mr. Brunner as the camp activities director, the immortal trainer of heroes including Jason and Achilles. Chiron explains that Zeus forbids Dionysus from consuming alcohol, so he tries to lure some demigods to do his bidding for him. Likewise, he was placed there as a punishment for pursuing an off limits nymph for 100 years. During this time, he is not allowed to drink wine, so instead drinks several liters of Diet Coke. Or grow grapes for wine, even though he does use his powers on other plants, such as strawberries, which helps the camp's expenses as their cover name is Delphi Strawberry Service. Then we see the amazing set of Camp Half Blood. We see the amphitheater, the archery, the strawberry farm. According to Rick Riordan, the owls just appeared on the set and they thought of it as a good omen. It is also the symbol of the goddess Athena, whose daughter Annabeth will play a bigger role later. The tour continues to the cabins. At first, there were 12 cabins for the 12 Olympian gods. We see Zeus, Apollo, Demeter, Ares, Phaesus, Poseidon, and Athena. Just like in the books, he was first placed in Hermes's cabin. Cabin number 11 is the cabin that houses the children of Hermes and the newcomers to Camp Half Blood who were unclaimed. As he enters the cabin, we see a trident, an allusion to his parentage, and the Minotaur from episode 1. We were introduced to Luke Castellan, played by Charlie Bushnell, the head counselor at Hermes's cabin. The series depicts a more accurate appearance of Luke with a thick, deep, pale scar that ran from the bottom of his eye down to his chin, caused by Ladon. Ladon is the guardian dragon of the Garden of the Hesperides. Grover goes deep into the forest and sees a tree nymph credited as Helena. We don't know who she is or what role she plays, but this is an addition to the series that did not appear in the source material. Percy Jackson's book fans are particularly familiar with one dryad, a tree nymph named Juniper. Grover is picking at his horns when he gets stressed out.
You've been picking at them again.
Then he enters the hidden section of the forest, which he was greeted by an eccentric looking group of humanoid creatures dressed in long, colorful robes, which we will confirm. In fact, the Council of Cloven Elders, essentially a leadership body of the satyrs acting to preserve nature. It is just upsetting that the scene was cut off with a budget to build that kind of set. It is a bit disappointing. You know, in another dream sequence, Percy Jackson hears the voice in his dream beckoning to him.
I know how you feel. You want what's been taken from you. You want justice.
The voice belongs to Kronos, the Titan father of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, or in other words, Percy's grandfather. As he wakes up, Luke explains to him that half bloods often experience nightmare.
We all have them, you know. Intense, recurring nightmares. That's normal here. And the daydreams, and ADHD, and dyslexia. Demigods just process reality differently.
He then explains the importance of glory or Kleos. We meet Clarice, portrayed by Dior Goodjohn,
Hey,
Oh, hey. Knock it off, Clarice. It's like his first day. Come on.
daughter of Ares. Her name is also an anagram of Eris with extra letters, like Annabeth as a daughter of Athena. We see the contrast between their necklaces.
Wait, so this is the kid who killed the Minotaur? Is that right?
Percy doesn't have beads yet, but Clarice, Luke, and other campers have some, signifying how many summers have they stayed in the camp. Percy thought that he could have glory. No one would mess with him, and his father would be forced to claim him. So, cut to the training montage. They test which gods will claim him. We see an archery station for the children of Apollo or Artemis, maybe.
I wouldn't. Should I try again?
The forge, where Hephaestus kids hone their blacksmith's abilities. And we cut to the dining pavilion. During a conversation about his parentage, Percy suggests that his father must be the god of disappointment.
Oasis. But she's a goddess. And her whole thing isn't really disappointment, it's more like failure.
Oasis is the goddess of pain or distress. Another addition to the series is the burnt offering. So Percy offers the blue candies, as it was closest to him. As he talks to his mom,
I think I've made some friends here. Like, real friends.
probably referring to Luke and Chris earlier. Take note of that in the future. Clarice and his half siblings picked on Percy in the bathroom. As they plunge his face into the toilet, water comes firing at them. Another allusion to Percy's parentage. Confused as to what happened, Annabeth appears.
I can explain.
No, you can't.
Played by Leah Sava Jeffries. This daughter of Athena is known for her know it all personality, calculated curiosity, sassiness, kindness, and of course, intelligence. Luke tells the story of how he, Annabeth, and Talia come together.
Before camp, I was on the road. Me and a forbidden kid I met along the way. Her name is Thalia.
And what does that mean, forbidden?
Meaning the child of the big three, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. We will know what happened in the past in the second book, or more like the second season. Let's explain the reasons why Annabeth is stalking Percy.
Annabeth is the strongest warrior in camp. The only way left to prove herself is to go on a quest.
Then the capture the flag begins. Annabeth shows a gift from Athena.
Game on.
It's funny that they included Percy doing flossing, whistling, peeing, and even petting a lizard while waiting for something to happen. Now, suddenly, Clarice and others showed up to exact revenge for what happened earlier that night.
Yeah, glory's fine. Revenge is more fun.
Clarice's main weapon is a spear. As they chase Percy towards the creek, they give him several wounds in his arms and face. Percy grabs the spear and accidentally breaks it with his might. Clarice shouts in grief, and we could see Percy was aghast by her reaction. According to the author Rick Riordan, Walker shared with me the other day that when Dior came up to him in that scene and grabbed him, Walker was afraid that she was really going to pulverize him. She was so convincing and so angry in character that he was scared, and he was glad that when the horn blew and she had to put him down. So that's good acting. Then the conch blows, ending the game with the blue team as a winner. We didn't see the hellhound attack from the novel. Annabeth removes her cap and reveals that she has been watching everything unfold. All of a sudden, Annabeth pushed Percy to the waters while uttering her apologies. Unexpectedly, Percy's wounds started to heal, and in a chilling moment, Percy was claimed by his father, the Earth Shaker, the Storm Bringer, the god of the sea, Poseidon. As Chiron declares Percy as a forbidden child of the sea god, he mentions that he is singular amongst demigods. Book readers should know better. Momentarily, Chiron explained the quest to retrieve the master bolt of Zeus.
And your father's only hope to prevent the outbreak of war.
Percy refuses to accept the quest, but Grover intervenes even with the disapproval of Mr. D and Chiron. Grover revealed that
Sally Jackson is alive. It looked like she died, but it only looked that way.
Grover.
Your mother was stolen by Hades, which means she's with him now in the underworld. That's where they want you to go too, isn't it?
so naturally, Percy accepted the quest. So that concludes our deep dive into episode 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. If you enjoyed this immersive breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more demigod adventures. Until next time, may the gods favor your journey. Bye.